Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Salakaya Chakkharunamilitam Jena Tasmi Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Tapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Shri Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sadivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Ritam Shri Vitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatrivasya Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanabhya Vaishnavabhya Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasyata Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna. So this is the very special series, very important and special series for all the devotees. This is called Uddhava Gita series. So especially for this month, and we request everyone to attend this and learn this Uddhava Gita is very, very important, because Uddhava Gita is a sequel of Bhagavad Gita. So it is very important for all the devotees on this very auspicious day must hear about this Uddhava Gita. So it is stated in these beautiful verses that the beautiful verses. It is stated in this verse that here very important verses, because why you should hear Bhagavad Gita or Uddhava Gita. He said that Sinvatam Gadatam Saswat Architam Archatam Tavhi Tvabhi Vandatam Nirnam Sambandhatam Antar Hridivasi Amalant Manam. So here it is stated that you reveal yourself within the heart of those person of pure consciousness who constantly hear about you, chant about you, worship you, glorify you, converse with one another about you. It's very important lessons. Unless we hear about, converse about, and glorify the Lord, one cannot purify. Unless we get purified, one cannot go back to God. Therefore, Krishna says, my devotees, they are always bodhanti parasparam kathanta chamnitya tussancha ramanti cha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also say, my devotee always converse with me. So this special Uddhava Gita series we have introduced so that we can be enlightened the most profound, because Lord has already spoken the fundamental knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, and Uddhava Gita is a sequel, and it is more profound. It is more profound and more spiritual insight. So Lord is speaking to his confidential devotees, Uddhava. So now actually Uddhava Gita comprises from 11:7, right from the 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11. But we will go through the prelude of the Uddhava Gita. Although Uddhava Gita comprises from 7 to 31, but we will go prelude to Bhagavatam Uddhava Gita, which is chapter 1 to chapter 7. So chapter 1 is course upon the Yadu dynasty. So, how the Yadu dynasty, see, Parikshit Maharaj is very curious to ask to Sukadev Goswami that how this Yadu dynasty, the course upon the Yadu dynasty, how this Yadu dynasty, which are the devotees, they are devoted, the family of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how they are destroyed. So this has been questioned. So we will go through this one. This chapter gives a hint of the destruction of Yadu dynasty, which took place owing to the appearance of iron club. Hearing the narration is great impetus for becoming detached from the material world. So this is a very important point, because Yadu dynasty is very, very powerful dynasty. They are all the family members of Krishna. They're so influential, so powerful, so illustrious. Even though how sophisticated environment, gorgeous arrangement, still this material world, they have to be, I mean, they have finished, they are finished, they are vanquished. So therefore, howsoever sophisticated environment, gorgeous arrangement we create, like Elon Musk or Ambani or Adnani, we cannot maintain our status quo, because we are existing in a non-existential atmosphere. Therefore, this narration of the course upon the Yadu dynasty, how Yadu dynasty, which is the dynasty of Krishna himself, Supreme Lord, has been destroyed, is the impetus, the great impetus for becoming detached from the material world. Understanding this material world is very transient by nature. Transient by nature. All these things is temporary, very flickering happiness. Prahlad Maharaj also said so many verses, 7737, 7739, 7744, that how this all the riches, all the things are very temporary by nature. So one should learn how to detach. See, in this verse, Prahlad Maharaj is very nicely spoken, that he said that one's reaches beautiful wife, female friend, one's sons and daughter, one's residence, one's domestic animal like cows, elephant, horse, one's treasury, economic development, sense gratification, indeed even the lifetime in which one can enjoy all these material opulences are certainly temporary and flickering. Since the opportunity of human life is temporary, what benefit can this material opulence give to a sensible man who has understood himself to be eternal? So this is same point. So why we should learn this one, how the Yadu dynasty has been destroyed? The learn is to detach from the material world. Understanding is flickering nature. So another places also Prahlad Maharaj say, since the body itself is ultimately meant to become stools or earth, what is the meaning of paraphernalia related to the body, such as wives, residence, wealth, children, relatives, servant, friend, kingdom, treasury, animal, minister? They are also temporary. What more can be said about this? So we cannot maintain the status quo. I am a rich person, I am from the aristocratic family. All these things are very temporary. So we cannot, therefore it is said that in this beautiful verse, what is the use of this material body which automatically lifts its owner at the end of life? What is the use of one's family member who are actually plunderer, taking away money from that is useful for the service of the Lord in spiritual opulence? What is the use of a wife? She is only source of increasing material condition. What is the use of family, home, country, and community? Attachment for them merely wastes the valuable energy of one's life. So therefore, this Uddhava Gītā, the prelude to Uddhava Gītā, here it says that hearing this narration is a great impetus for becoming detached from the material world. Because people are so much attached to their family, their wealth, the children, country, community, so on and so forth. But this is temporary, flickering. Anytime it can be lost. So Sri Krishna expertly, Lord Sri Krishna expertly arranged the great Kurukshetra battle between the Kurus and Pandava. Thus removed to a great extent the earth burden. This is important. Krishna's mission is yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata avithanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamayam. Paritranaya sadhuna vinasaya ca duskritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami juge juge. So Lord mission is when there is a predominant rise of a religion, when there is a discrepancy in executing dharma, the authentic dharma, Sanatana dharma, Krishna consciousness or bhāgavata-dharma. When there is a discrepancy, when there is a very gross discrepancy, when people are not interested, most of the people are not interested, when there is a chaos in executing religious principle, due to this overwhelming presence or dictation, control of the demoniac forces, duskritam, miscreants, demons. That time Krishna descend on the earth to establish the authentic dharma, which is Krishna consciousness, bhāgavata-dharma or Sanatana dharma. So therefore, he arranged this Kurukshetra war and assemble all these people who are against this dharma, who are violating, transgressing this dharma as their opponent, like Kauravas and company, and kill them at once, within 18 days finish, and establish the Sanatana dharma. It is his mission. Krishna's business, his mission, purpose. So, and thus removed a great extent the earth burden. But the Supreme Lord, whose influence is inconceivable, was not yet satisfied. So after the Kurukshetra war, almost all the demoniac king who was against the Sanatana Dharma, Krishna consciousness, has been removed. Because devotees and demons, what is the difference? Devotees are abide by the dharma, abide by the instruction of the Lord. On the other end, who are the demons? Who defy, Prabhupada has written 16.6 purport, who defy the instruction of the Supreme Lord, order of Supreme Lord, dharma of Supreme Lord. They are called demons. Dharma means bhāgavata-panitam. It's an instruction of the Lord. Dharma to sakyat bhāgavata-panitam. But the Supreme Lord, whose influence is inconceivable, was not yet satisfied because of the continued presence of undefeatable Yadu family. So here, although Lord has exterminated, removed almost all the demoniac, when he was transcendental in fancy, Lord has killed so many demons sent by the Kansa systematically. Putana, Aga, Baka, Saka, all these demons has been systematically exterminated by the Lord. And in Kurukshetra, in Mathura also, he killed so many demons. Dwaraka also, he killed so many opponent party demons. And Kurukshetra also, he almost all exterminated. All the duskritana. Paritranaya sadhuna, vinasaya ca duskritam. Duskritam means demons, miscreants. Now, the internal demons or internal disturbances is still there. What is that? Family. Because Yadu dynasty, although they are very devoted to the Lord, they are not the demons. Actually, they have come to support the Lord in his pastime in establishing the dharma. But they are very puffed up. The Lord desired to bring about the destruction of Yadu dynasty so that he could completely wind up his pastime on the earth and go back to his own effort. So Lord wanted to wind up, and he also wanted to wind he also wanted to, destroy the Yadu dynasty or withdraw. It's not destruction. It's kind of withdraw. Prabhupada said that supposing a sun, when it is setting, it is not ending. It's not ending. Somewhere it is rising. So this Yadu dynasty, they are all devoted, the demigods. They came to support, cooperate and support Lord in his pastimes to establish the Sanatana Dharma or Krishna consciousness. So it's not destruction, it's like disappearance. The Lord wants to wind up and also withdraw all this Yadu dynasty from the earth. Jiva Goswami also say that one of the reasons why Lord wants to withdraw, because Yadu dynasty, Yadu family are Kṛṣṇas. Bhaktisiddhanta used to say Kṛṣṇas, the family of Krishna. They, if Krishna want to wind up his pastime before them, they will be very lamenting. They will be feeling separation. And in that very frustrated mood, they will destroy the earth. Considering this fact, Lord wanted to desire to destroy or withdraw, destroy this Yadu family. So this is the inconceivable plan. Lord's plan is always inconceivable. Vishmadev said that your plan is always inconceivable, Using the pretense of a course by an assembly of brāhmaṇas, he withdrew his entire dynasty from the surface of the earth. So how to do that? So Lord has planned. So let me plan. So in the pretense of a course, that we will see that how they are being course, the Yadu family. A pretense of course, Lord withdraw. He suggests the course that your family dynasty will be destroyed. So in a pretense of a course, he wanted to withdraw his entire dynasty from the surface of the earth. By Krishna's desire, many great sages headed by Nārada Vishwamitra assembled at the holy place called Pindaraka, near the city of Dwaraka. The young boys of Yadu family, absorbed in playful mood, also arrived there. Those boys dressed Samba in the guise of pregnant women about to give birth and inquired from the sages about the fruitfulness of Samba's so-called pregnancy. So here what happened, the Yadu families, they are become very popped up because they are very invincible, indefeatable. So therefore they are very popped up. They want to, Krishna actually want to withdraw, so they arrange the sages. Actually he called the sages for a sacrifice in Vasudeva house, Dwaraka. After that they send the sages, Vishwamitra, Narada, so many great sages, to a place called Pindaraka. In that place, the Samba, all the family, because Lord has very, very big family, extended family. So he, in that place, Pindaraka, the Satyabhama son called Samba. So Samba and all the friends, all the family members, they want to mock the sages. So they pretending they came as a pregnant woman. They inquired about the sages, either it is a son or daughter. Because of their powerful insight, the sages detected that they are mocking us. So immediately they will cause, understanding this presumptuous, this contemptuous, the contumelious conduct of these Yadu families, the Yadu boys, they curse them, saying that she will give birth to a club that will destroy your family. The Yadus, frightened by this curse, immediately ripped the garment from Samba abdomen, found a club. Hurrying to the assembly of Ugrasena, the king of the Yadu, they offered the report of everything that had taken place. Fearing the Brahmana's curse, Yaduraj Ugrasen ordered the club ground to be powdered and thrown into the ocean. So they immediately they're fearful of all these things, and they immediately report to this king of Yadu dynasty, Ugrasena. And Ugrasena ordered that the iron club to be grounded and powder thrown into ocean. Within the ocean, the fish swallowed the last remaining lump of iron, and the waves carried all the bits of ground powder to the source, where they were implanted and eventually grew into a grove of canes. See how this, because this providential, Krishna wanted, Krishna desires, how Krishna plan is so inconceivable. Nobody understood his plan. Although Ugrasena trying to powder all this iron club, which will be the cause of Yadu dynasty destruction, caused by the Brahmanas, all this is caused by the sages. But he tried to counteract by powdering, but that will not help, because Krishna wants. If Krishna wants, nobody can stop. If Krishna stops, nobody can. Hari rakhe mare kiye, mare Hari rakhe kiye. If Krishna wants to kill nobody. So this powder went to soar and become a canes, implanted as a grove of canes. And the remaining part of this iron, which cannot be powdered, last part, a fisherman caught the fish and fish swallowed it and fisherman caught the fish. Hunter named Jara used this iron law found in its belly to fashion an arrow. Although the super soul Lord Krishna understood what was happening, he did not wish to do anything to counteract. Rather, in the form of time, he sanctioned this event. So Lord understood all the things because he wanted to withdraw. He wanted to wind up his pastime and withdraw the Yadu dynasty. So he did not counteract. Otherwise, Lord is omnipotent. He can counteract even a Brahmastra. What to speak about all the things. So Lord is omnipotent. Nothing can be checked. No course can be checked. But Lord did not want to counteract because he wanted, it is his desire. So therefore, this is the thing. So Lord Krishna, it is the so this is the thing, that how by this the providential Krishna wanted to withdraw the dynasty. And in this beautiful verses, it is stated that in this canto, it is stated that the Supreme Personality of God had used the Yadu dynasty, which was protected by his own arm, to eliminate the kings who, with their armies, had been burden of this earth. Then unfathomable Lord thought to himself, although some may say that earth's burden is now gone, in my opinion, it is not yet gone, because there still remains a Yadava dynasty itself, whose strength is unbearable for the earth. Because initially Lord appeared, because here you can see Lord appears because earth is overburdened by the military forces, demoniac forces. So here it is said that 10th canto, you can see that once when Mother Earth was overburdened by hundreds and thousands of military phalanxes of various conceited demons, dressed like a king, she approached Lord Brahma for the relief. So this all the demons, they are dressed like a king, they are burdened the earth by their bad ruling. So he approached to the Brahma to put forward his grievances. Mother Earth assumed the form of a cow, very much distressed, with tears in her eyes. She appeared before the Lord Brahma, told him about her misfortune. Thereafter, having heard the distress of Mother Earth, Lord Brahma with Mother Earth, Lord Shiva, and all other demigods approached the shore of ocean of milk. After reaching the shore of ocean milk, the demigods worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, Master of whole universe, the Supreme God of all gods, who provides for everyone, diminishes everyone's suffering. With great attention, they worship the Lord Vishnu, who lies on the ocean of milk, by reciting Vedic mantra known as Purusha Sukta. So here, the Lord Brahma could not solve the problem of the earth because it is beyond his jurisdiction. Therefore, he took the earth and also Lord Shiva, all the demigods at the shore of milk ocean, and they are praying, chanting the Purusha Sukta mantra. While in trance, Lord Brahma heard the words of Lord Vishnu vibrating in the sky. Thus he told the demigods, O demigods, hear from me the order of Kshirodakshasai Vishnu, the Supreme Person, and execute it attemptly without delay. So here Lord is hearing, Brahma is hearing from the Lord what is his mission. Lord Brahma informed the demigods, before we submit our petition to the Lord, before we submitted our petition to the Lord, he was already aware of the distress on the earth. Consequently, for as long as the Lord moves on the earth to diminish his burden by his own potency in the form of time, all of you demigods should appear through the plenary portion as sons and grandsons in the family of Yadu. So here Lord informed to Brahma that I will come, I will appear, and you all demigods appear as my family members. So whole idea of the Lord to diminish the burden. So here it says that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who has full potency, will personally appear as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, all the wives of demigods should also appear in order to satisfy him. foremost manifestation of Krishna is Sankarsana, who is known as Ananta. He is origin of all incarnation within this material world. Previous to the appearance of Lord Krishna, this original Sankarsana will appear as a Baladev, just to please the Supreme Lord Krishna in his transcendental pastime. So here already Lord Krishna, aware of the burden of the earth and distress of the earth, to diminish the distress of the earth, Lord already informed Brahma and demigods, all the demigods, that I will appear, and along with me the Sankarsana or Balaram will come, which is the first expansion of the Supreme Lord. So both will come and enact his pastimes. So here Lord mission is to diminish, but in this 11th canto you can see Lord is telling, although I did already things, but still there is something is left over. What is left? That my family is there. There, Lord say, in my opinion, it is not yet gone. Although he killed all these demons when he was in transcendental, when he was in in his boyhood, childhood, transcendental infancy, he killed lot of demons systematically. Kurukshetra war also he killed so many of demons in the grave of king. Now he is telling, in my opinion, it is not yet done, because there still remains a Yadava dynasty itself, whose strength is unbearable for us. Here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has remarked in this regard, although ordinary people might think that Lord had now removed the burden of the earth by killing demons, re-establishing dharma, so on, Lord Krishna himself could detect that there was further danger from a religious activity of his own family members who were acting improperly. It is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that just a king will refuse to punish his own enemy if his enemy is innocent, but will punish his own son if he actually deserves punishment. Thus, although in the eyes of the world, the members of the Lord's own dynasty are always worshipable, Lord Krishna detected that by their intimate association with him, some member of Yadu dynasty had become indifferent to his will. Since such whimsical members of Yadu dynasty could act freely, being relative of Supreme Personality of Godhead, they would surely cause great misfortune for the world. And foolish person who takes such whimsical behavior to the will of Krishna. Thus the Lord, whose desire are inconceivable, begun to consider need to annihilate the different contemptuous member of Yadu family. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati very nicely says. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati is now saying that just like a king is very impartial. If he found the enemy is innocent, he will release. He will not punish. But if he found his own family is implicated or committed mistake, he deserves to be punished. Similarly, Krishna, he comes to punish those who are against the dharmas, establishing dharma. But he found out that his own family also, there are members who are not fulfilling the will of the Lord. They are contemptuous, contumelious. They are transgressing the will of the Lord to establish dharma sansthapanartha, Krishna consciousness. So therefore, he thought that if I do not annihilate in future, people will think that, oh, these are the family of the Lord, a family of the Krishna, family of the Lord. So what they are doing, that is the desire or will of Krishna. Even though they act improperly, they will think that, oh, this is also will of Krishna. Therefore, they need to be annihilated due to this contemptuous conduct. Therefore, Lord desired to withdraw or destroy his Yadu dynasty, own family. From the viewpoint of ordinary person, all the demons had been killed by Supreme Lord's pastime in Dwaraka, Mathura, as well as by the battle of Kurukshetra. The earth was now free from its burden. Nevertheless, to free earth from the remaining burden of his own popped up family members, Lord Sri Krishna transferred them away from the earth by causing fratricidal quarrel. Fratricidal means family quarrel. Just like Kurukshetra is a family quarrel, this also a family quarrel, fratricidal quarrel among them. In this way, he prepared for his own disappearance from the earth. Siddhar Swami has pointed out that the word Bahubhi by his arms is used in plural rather than the dual to indicate the Lord caused the destruction of Yadu dynasty in his four-armed form. original form of Krishna as Govinda is two-armed, but it was by plenary person four-armed Narayan that the Lord killed all the demons on the earth, ultimately removed the burdens of member of his own family. It may be asked, if certain member of Yadu family had become indifferent to the will of the Lord, why didn't they oppose the Lord in his plan to remove them from the earth? Therefore, the word aprameya is used, which indicates that it is impossible for anyone, even the Lord's own family member, to understand his will completely. So here it is very important that supposing they say the Lord now wanted to disburden the earth by killing his own family, but their own family itself also helped Lord to exterminate all this burden, diminish the burden on the earth. So here it is saying that this is all inconceivable plan of the Lord. Jiva Goswami has given another reason, that destruction of Yadu dynasty emphasized that activity of Supreme Personality of Godhead should never be taken to be ordinary material activity, nor the Lord associate ordinary person. Although Lord Krishna apparently incarnates within this world for some time and goes away, it should be understood that Supreme Lord is eternally situated with his entourage in his various abodes in the spiritual sky, such as Gokul, Mathura and Dwaraka. The member of Yadu dynasty are eternal associate of the Lord. Therefore, they cannot be separated from the Lord. Since Krishna was preparing to give up his earthly pastime, if he were to leave the Yadu dynasty on the earth, they would surely become so disturbed by his absence that their highly agitated state of mind, they would trample and destroy the earth. Therefore, Krishna arranged the disappearance of Yadu dynasty prior to his own disappearance. That is one of the reasons Jiva Goswami say that, because they are all eternal. As Prabhupada said that sun is set is not sun is ending, sun is appearing somewhere. So Krishna and his associate all eternal. So they are ending of pastime on the earth means they are starting the pastime in somewhere, just like a time. Prabhupada give an example. Now time is 9:18. After 1 minute in Singapore, it will be 9:19. 9:18 will not be there. But somewhere in the world, there will be 9:18. Therefore, Krishna's pastime is Nitya Lila. He is eternally pastime, eternal pastime. Jiva Goswami concludes that ultimately members of the Yadu dynasty are never to be considered irreligious. Because Vaishnava Acharya have mentioned the story of disappearance of Yadu dynasty, especially meant to help the conditioned soul active liberation from the bondage of materialistic life. Within the three worlds, there were none as powerful as opulent as Yadu dynasty. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the possessor of unlimited opulence, beauty, strength, knowledge, fame, and on. The members of Yadu dynasty, being personal associate of the Lord, were also endowed with inconceivable opulence. Therefore, when we see how patricides were suddenly deprived by the member of Yadu dynasty of all their earthly possession, even their lives, we can understand that there is no permanent position within the material world. This is a very important point, important lesson. So here Jiva Goswami says they are not irreligious. You should not consider that Yadu dynasty is no. Because Lord wanted to teach us so many things in one act. So the disappearance of Yadu dynasty is a great impetus for the living entity to understand that so-called riches will not help us to surpass the death, to change our status quo from mortality to immortality. So this is a lesson, because Yadu dynasty or family of Krishna, they were inconceivable opulent, because Krishna is inconceivable opulent. Still, they have to disappear. They have to be destroyed. They cannot, maintain the status quo. Although the member of Yadu dynasty or eternal associate of the Lord were immediately transported to another planet where the Lord was appearing. The sudden disappearance of the patricidal war is meant to impress upon the conditioned soul temporary nature of this world. Bhuta bhutta praliyate. Anitya sukha lokam. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gītā, and dukkhalayam asaswatam means temporary. Therefore, the apparent indifference or enmity of certain member of Yadu dynasty towards Krishna should not be taken to be actual irreligion on their part. The entire situation was arranged by Lord Kṛṣṇa to teach a lesson to conditioned soul. So somebody may ask that why the Krishna associates, their own eternal associate, they are against the Krishna will. So no, actually they are not against the Krishna will. They are not against the dharma. establish dharma. Krishna wanted to establish dharma, but Krishna actually want to teach a lesson to the conditioned soul. In this connection, Jiva Goswami has cited several verses from Bhagavatam to prove that members of Yadu dynasty achieve their exalted birth in the Lord's own family by innumerable pious activity, by complete absorption in thought of Lord Krishna. In fact, it is said that in sleeping, sitting, walking, speaking, they were unable to remember their own self because they were simply thinking of Krishna. In the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 1:15-33, Srila Prabhupada is commented as follows on the disappearance of Yadu dynasty. The setting of the sun does not mean the end of sun. It means the sun is out of our sight. Similarly, end of mission of the Lord on a particular planet or universe only means he is out of our sight. The end of Yadu dynasty also does not mean that it is annihilated. It disappears along with the Lord out of our sight. So try to understand that it is not that, they are irreligious, so Lord wanted to exterminate. Because Lord want to wind up his pastime, he also withdraw his dynasty. His mission is completed. He wanted to complete his mission. So this is the very confidential things Jiva Goswami has revealed us. So therefore we should understand the things in the line of Acharya Sampradaya. Then we can understand real purpose of this. So what happened then? Then Mahārāja Parīkṣit is asking the question. Mahārāja Parīkṣit is asking the question. So this is all. Then after this plan, Lord actually wanted to. There are beautiful verses. We should remember this was very important verses. So it is said that the supreme. What is the mission of the Lord? Purpose of the Lord? Krishna says, "Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati." In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, it is said that the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna is the reservoir of all beauty. All beautiful things emanate from him. His personal form is so attractive that it steals the eyes away from all other objects, which then seem devoid of beauty in comparison to him. When the Lord Krishna was on the earth, he attracted the eyes of all people. When Krishna spoke, his words attracted the mind of all who remembered them. By seeing the footstep of Lord Krishna, people became attracted to him. And thus they wanted to offer their bodily activity to the Lord as his follows. In this way, Krishna very easily spread his glories, which are sung throughout the world by the most sublime and essential Vedic verses. Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, conditioned soul born in the future world crossed beyond the darkness of ignorance. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left for his desired destination. The whole idea of the Lord, he enacted all this pastime to attract the conditioned soul. His beauty, his form, his activities, his name, all are transcendently beautiful and attractive. Krishna himself, the name itself say that, Krishna name itself says that is all attractive. So attract the conditioned soul towards him so that the conditioned soul would cross beyond the darkness of ignorance. That is his idea, to reclaim the conditioned soul, to revive the conditioned soul from their existential status, from their, to their existential status as an eternal servant of Krishna. Because at present moment we turn away from the Lord, we are rotating in a continuous cycle of birth and death, being averse to the Lord, being turned away from the Lord. Therefore, Lord, being a father, very affectionate father, he wanted to help. He wanted to show his causeless mercy to his rebellious children, who are very rebellious and there is no mood of reconciliation of soul. They do not want to reconcile. We do not want to reconcile also. But his father is always affectionate. So he came to his purpose to attract the conditioned soul and revive our existential status as a eternal servant of the Krishna. So then he wanted to, that is his main thing, he left for his desired destination. So how Lord is merciful. By hearing this thing, Parīkṣit Maharaj asked the question, Parikshit Maharaj asked the question of the brāhmaṇas curse upon the dynasty. Already we have already read how the brāhmaṇas brahmana curse upon the how the brāhmaṇas curse upon the dynasty. So King Parikshit inquired how could the brahmana curse the Brishnis who were always respectful to the brahmana, charitable, inclined to serve senior exalted personality, whose minds were always full of absurd in thought of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So usually the Krishna's family is their devotee of Krishna. So they cannot be disrespectful to the Brahmanas. How they become disrespectful to the Brahmanas? So Parikshit Maharaj is asking question. Because it's Krishna's desire. He desires, he sent these Brahmanas so that they get angry and curse. In this way, I can withdraw and destroy the Yadu dynasty and wind up my pastime fulfilling my purpose. How inconceivable purpose. Although Visvamvhar also saying very nice verses, later on I will show. Lord plan is always inconceivable. King Parikshit continued inquiring what was the motive for this cause. Why? What did it consist of purest of twice born, and how could such a disagreement have arisen among the Yadus who all shared the same goal of life? Please tell me all this. So it is saying that how this what is the actual cause of their destruction. So Parikshit Maharaj is very much anxious to understand. So this is all the plan of the Lord. So he said he and these boys are cursed in this way. There beautiful verses is there in this regard. Here it is stated very nicely that O king, no one can know the plan of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Even though great philosopher inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. So Visvamvhar also saying that the plan of the Lord is so inconceivable, nobody understood that. In this way, he want to withdraw this Yadu dynasty. So here Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring, inquiring what is the how the Brahma, how these people, how this they're disrespectful to the Brahmanas and get and invited the course or received the course. They are being cursed. Actually, it is the plan of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa has planned everything. So that is whole idea. That is the answer has been given by Parikshit Maharaj. Sorry, Sukadeva Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami say that this is all the inconceivable plan of the Lord. To answer this, Sukadeva Goswami has elaborated the incident. Sukadeva Goswami say that Sukadeva Goswami is the Lord who bore his body as the amalgamation of everything beautiful. So here it is said that the Lord who bore his body as the amalgamation of everything beautiful, dutiful, executed the most auspicious activities while on the earth. Although he was in fact without any endeavor, already satisfied in all desire, residing in his abode, enjoying life, Lord whose glorification is in itself magnanimous, now wanted to annihilate his dynasty as the still remaining small part of his duty to be carried out. So in purport, he say that the verse answer the Parikshit Maharaj's question is how powerful members of Yadu dynasty could be caught by the Brahmanas and thus destroy themselves in a fratricidal war. By the word of Samhutam Aichittakulam, it is clearly stated that Lord Kṛṣṇa himself desired to withdraw his dynasty, therefore engaged the brāhmaṇas as his agent. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks here that Krishna had clearly demonstrated the insurpassable beauty and strength of his personal form, pastime, pleasure to all the residents of earth. Thus, his incarnation to kill all the demons save the devotee, re-established religious principle had been completely successful. When the Lord Kṛṣṇa noticed that his mission was now complete, everything had been done perfectly, he desired to return to his transcendental abode, along with the Brāhmaṇas. The Lord personally arranged for the Yadu dynasty to be caused by the Brāhmaṇas. So now he saw that because he comes Paritranaya Sadhana, he saw that everything has been done. Now he wanted to wind up his pastime and he wanted to withdraw his dynasty and bring them back along with him. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the Aptakama means Krishna is always self-satisfied. Yet in order to execute his transcendental pastime, he arranged to destroy his own dynasty for three specific purposes, namely to re-establish in the heavenly planet those demigods who had taken birth in the Yadu dynasty to assist him, to re-establish the plenary Vishnu expansion in their abode, such as Vaikuntha, Setudip and Badrikashram, to remove himself from the vision of material world along with his eternal associate. So this is a very important thing Vishwanath Chakravarti given the three reasons. First reason is that because the first reason, let us know the first reason. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur say that the first reason is that to re-establish his plenary, to re-establish the heavenly planet, because demigods has come to assist Krishna. So again to re-establish the heavenly planet to those demigods who have taken birth among the Yadus, to assist him, and to establish plenary Vishnu expansion in their abodes, such as Vaikuntha Setudeva. Because Lord comes, when Lord Kṛṣṇa comes, he comes along with all the incarnations, just as it is stated just previously, as a Narayana form, Bahubhi means is a Narayana form. He killed all the Dwaraka, Mathura, he exhibited Narayana form. Only in Vrindavan, he was in Krishna form. In Krishna form, he always enacted pastime with gopis and all. For as far as Paritranaya Sadhana, to killing the demons, his different explanation, different expansion, Vishnu expansion like Vasudeva form, like Narayana form, he executed that mission of killing the demons. Therefore, it is said that Krishna has never stepped out from the Vrindavan, because as his 200 form, he is always there in Vrindavan. Paritranaya Sadhana is Krishna. Gunasaya Duskita is all about his different form. So therefore, he says that such as Vaikuntha, his plenary Vishnu expansion in their abode, such as Vaikuntha, Setudip, Badrikashram. See, therefore, the second reason is that by wind up, then he will re-establish their Vishnu expansion in their abode, the Vaikuntha, Setudip, Badrikashram. And third one is to remove himself from the vision of material world along with his eternal associate, because he has descended or appeared along with his associate entourage to enact certain pastime, to diminish the burden of the earth, to kill the miscreant by killing miscreants, by killing demons. So now wind up, he wanted to also wind up the pastime of his associate entourage. So therefore he desired to destroy the Yadu dynasty. In this connection, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has made several important remarks about the destruction of Yadu dynasty. He states that many so-called religious persons have fallen down by committing the second offense against chanting the holy name, namely Vishnu Sarveshwaresya Tad Itar Samadhi, considering another living entity to be equal to Lord Vishnu, who is the Lord of the Lords, who is captured by the impersonal tendency of Mayavadi philosophy, falsely think that the external and material energy of the Lord is equal to his internal spiritual potency. In this way, one equates ordinary living entity with the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, taking Krishna to be another aspect of Maya. This is the most unfortunate misconception, for it spoils one's opportunity to understand God as he actually is. Person inclined toward this illusory conception of life would undoubtedly consider the member of Yadu dynasty equal in all respect to Krishna and worship the future descendant dependent of Krishna family as being equal to Krishna himself. The continued presence of Yadu dynasty on the earth could certainly constitute a great impediment on the earth of spiritual understanding and a great burden on the earth. To counteract the danger to the world from the offense of equating Vishnu with the family of Vishnu, the Lord decided to cross the Yadu family. So there's a very important. In Mayavadi philosopher, they say that at the liberated stage, we are all equal to the Supreme Lord. That is a wrong conception. We are never equal to. We are always fragmental part of the fragmental subordinate. Mamavansa jiva loko jiva bhutta sanatana. We are eternally fragmental subordinate part of the Lord. Qualitatively, we are equal, just like a fire and spark of fire, a gold mine and gold. But quantitatively, we are different. So if Krishna is not withdrawing or destroying Yadu family, they will be here continuing. And people thinking that, oh, Yadu family also equal to Krishna. Krishna family is equal to Krishna. In this way, that will be spreading the misconception, misunderstanding about the Krishna. Krishna is sovereign. Krishna is Swarat. Krishna is supreme. Anadir Adir Govindar. So nobody can equal. Anybody who trying to equate, they are called Pasandi. Even Supreme Lord, the great personality like Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they are not equal. Anybody who wants to equate the Krishna with others, they are called Pasandi. Even his Yadu family cannot be equated to Krishna. Nobody can. Krishna himself declares, Bhagavad-gītā mataha parataram nanyat kinchid asti dhananja. Nobody can be equal and above me. Asamurdha. Anybody who is thinking that, it is stated in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, they are called Pasandi. They are called Narayana. He says that yastu Narayanam Devam Brahma Rudradi Daivate Samattena Vikhyate Sapasandi Bhavet Drubam. A person who considers demigod like Brahma and Shiva to be an equal level with Narayana is to be considered an offender and a Pasandi. So in order to stop this misconception, so Lord wanted to cross this Yadu family. Lord decided to cross the Yadu family. The Supreme Lord Krishna is always affectionate to his devotee. But whenever familial descendant Lord Krishna become inimical or indifferent to him, not loving his pure devotee or making friendship with his servant, such a so-called family member of the Lord become impediment to his will. There is tangible danger that ignorant living being will worship such inimical person, revering them as a close associate of Krishna. For example, to consider Kansa the material uncle of Krishna, therefore faithful servant of Krishna would be completely erroneous conclusion. Just like Kansa also relative, but Kansa is a demon. If anybody follow, oh, he is the family of Krishna, let me follow, then he is erroneous conclusion. This is erroneous, completely erroneous conclusion. By such misconception, evil man who oppose the Lord may be accepted as his intimate associate, and person inimical to Krishna may be thought of as his surrendered dependent appearing in his own family. The purpose of destruction of Yadu family was to eradicate the false logic of the Mayavadis, who desired to see everything as one in all respects, who therefore improperly reasoned that enemies of Krishna devotee can be his intimate family members. So this is a very important point. That Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati say that to remove this misconception, erroneous conclusion, that devotee is family of the Krishna is equal to family. Also, the family of Krishna who are against the Krishna devotee, they are intimate family members. No, because the Sambha and all, they have cursed, they have mocked the sages, they have offended, humiliated the sages. They contemptuous activities. Therefore, they were cursed. So Krishna did not approve that. So anybody who was against the Krishna devotee cannot be his intimate family member. So there are so many wonderful lessons on this course upon or disappearance of destruction of Yadu dynasty. In the next verses, it is stated that the sage Vishwamitra Asita Kanava, Durvasa, Virgu, Angira, Kashyapa, Bhamadeva, Atri, Vaishishta, along with Nārada, others once performed fruitive rituals that avoid abundant pious result, bring great happiness, take away the sins of Kali Yuga for the whole world by merely being recounted. The sages duly executed the ritual in the home of chief of Yadus, Vasudeva, the father of Lord Kṛṣṇa. After Lord Kṛṣṇa was staying in Vasudeva's house as a time personified, respectfully sent the sages off at the conclusion of ceremony. They went to holy place called Pindaraka. And to that holy place, young boys of Yadu dynasty has brought Sambha, son of Jambavati, not Satyabhama. Sambha is son of Jambavati, dressed in woman's garb, and playfully approaching the great sages gathered there. The boys grabbed hold of the sages' feet, impudently asked them with feigned humility, "O learned Brahmana, this black-eyed pregnant woman has something to ask you. She is too embarrassed to inquire for herself. She is just about to give a birth and very desirous of having a son. Since all of you are great sages with infallible vision, please tell us whether her child will be boy and child." It's a very important thing, this was. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has made the following comment that impudent behavior of young Yadu toward the sages headed by Nārada were all brāhmaṇas and devotee of the Lord, was a display of deviation from the path of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Similarly, although Prakata Sahaja think themselves as the intimate associate of Kṛṣṇa, the supremely merciful Lord determination is perfectly correct in working to finish such a false devotee. Kṛṣṇa never accepted any service from the impostor. Yadu Kumara's deception is termed seemingly humble, meaning that in fact they were anything but humble. But the ridiculing Vaishnavas by Lord's family resulted in a great offense against the devotee of the Lord. So this is very, very important thing. Although they are Yadu families, but once you offend it to the devotees, ridiculing them, then it is a great offense. That tantamount to be great offense. Sometimes the Sahajya, they think that I am the God, oh Lord is so cheap, Lord. They are taking so much offenses. Sometimes they also offend the pure devotee of the Lord. So Lord cannot approve this. Similar incident occurred during the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when his own mother offended Sri Advaita Acharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally rectified this offense against a great Vaishnava. Thus the Lord showed his magnanimity. Lord Kṛṣṇa's pastime of destroying Yadu dynasty is also a demonstration of his mercy to his devotees. This is another demonstration of devotee. You cannot offend a devotee. Believing the Brahmana and the Vaishnavas and Rishi to be foolishly lacking of knowledge in material affair of sense gratification, Yadu Kumar addressed Sambha, the son of Jambavati, as a woman and tried to mock the saintly assembly. They are thinking that, no, these people are what they know. They are thinking that they are ordinary people, ordinary sages. They do not know their infallible vision. Their tremendous insight, They have no idea that they are called Trikalanga. They know future, past, and present. Lord Kṛṣṇa wanted to teach that such offense committed against the great devotee by his associate Sambha would be the cause of the Yadu dynasty destruction, all as a part of his Leela. In the modern times, such misbehavior has also manifested itself within the Gaudiya Vaishnava community. Unauthorized persons have initiated the process of deceitfully bestowing women's dress on their followers. This process is to be counted as a variety of aparadha, an offense against Kṛṣṇa. Such an attempt to cheapen and ridicule devotional service to Kṛṣṇa is certainly caused by envy towards real Vaishnava, who are faithfully engaged in devotional service according to rules and regulations of Vedic literature. Thus, Rupa Goswami says, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidivina Aikantika Harer Bhakti Utpadeva Kalpate. If one wants to demonstrate his great devotion to the Supreme Lord, but his process of devotional service violates the standard rules of revealed scripture, such as Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Narada, Pancharatra, then his alleged love of Godhead will simply disturb the society by misleading people from the auspicious path of spiritual advancement. The taking of a woman's clothing by a man in Krishna Lila was intended to point out this fact. See, sometimes they say that they are called Gopi Bhava Club, and they are taking this, they are wearing this Gopi cloth and thinking that they have become Gopis, Such an amount to be cheating and ridicule of the devotee of Krishna. Sambha is a personal associate of the Lord, but acting as a harbinger, the future misfortune to be created in Kali Yuga by bogus followers by bogus follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Somebody spread his didactic pastime to help the living entity be blessed on the correct path of devotional service. Actually, Sambha and his Yadu family, they are all devoted. They cannot be bewildered. They cannot mock because they are all good, saintly people. Just like Arjuna. Arjuna cannot be bewildered, but he is acting on behalf of the conditioned soul. He is acting as a conditioned soul to help the conditioned soul to get out from this precarious condition, to get out from this predicament. Similarly, Sambha and Yadu family boys, they are acting didactic pastime. This is called didactic pastime, to help the living entity to bless on the correct path of devotional service. Because we do not know. We are thinking that just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corrected his own mother. And so many people, they are claiming that I am the Sampradaya of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am the family from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they are doing all improper things. And Krishna never approved that. So teach the lesson that what is the authentic or correct path of devotional service. This all the pastime is enacted by the actual will of Krishna. The boy said to this sage, "Oh Rishi, Brahmana, Narada, other great personality, can you tell us whether it will be a son or daughter that will be born from his pregnant woman?" By addressing pure Vaishnava in this way, they anticipated the fraudulent sampradaya of the modern age in their practice of Sakiveka, addressing men as a female associate of the gopis. This unauthorized activity constitutes contempt and mockery of pure devotee of the Lord. Many false yogi, imagining they are distributing first-class devotion on the liberated platform, attempt to award the status of pure devotee to candidate totally ignorant of transcendental taste of Madhurarati or Lord's conjugal love in the spiritual world. Even though they know that general populace is unfit to imitate liberated associate of the Lord, they officially decorate ordinary person with the ornament of spiritual perfection, such as tears and melted heart and the standing on the end of the bodily hair. Thus, these bogus yogis introduce process that mislead the world, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that the great misfortune caused by the false yogi, good yogi, was impossible to forestall in the Kali Yuga. So this is very, very important point, that nowadays so many things, so many deviation is going on. Rampant deviation in the name of things, name of the religiosity, name of that the pure devotee, I am pure devotee. So many sampradayas churning out, just like mushrooming. Just like in rainy season, the mushroom is everywhere, you can see the mushroom. So they have come up and spreading all this wrong conception, infected them with insane desire for material object of applause, so that ordinary person can easily identify as false yogi, deviated from the path of pure devotional service. Mockery of the Brahman and Vaishnava by young boys of the Yadu dynasty who dress Sambha women's grab, and the resultant destruction of Yadu dynasty conclusively demonstrate the uselessness of Sahajya Sampradaya. Jiva Goswami has confirmed that lack of humility shown by the sons of Yadu dynasty was an arrangement by the Lord himself. In other words, the members of Yadu dynasty are ultimately associates of Lord Kṛṣṇa. To facilitate the instructive pastime of the Lord, they acted apparently in an unethical way. So very nice information, very nice, wonderful purport by all our Acharya, that how to teach a lesson, that to mockery, to humiliate, or to take it so cheaply, and to offend the devotee, pure devotee, to take the things cheaply, to propagate the cheap religion. So these are all the all results in the destruction, just like Yadu dynasty destroyed on account of being mocking the sages. This thus ridiculed by this, the sages become angry. "O king," told the boys, "fools, will bear an iron club that will destroy your dynasty." So here this because these devotees are free from all four defects. They understood, their senses are perfect. They understood that they were being mocked by these boys. So they cursed them. Upon hearing the curse of the sages, the terrified boy quickly uncovered the belly Sambha. Indeed, they observed that there was an iron club. So in this way, they went to the Ugrasena. So they understood that they went to Ugrasena, and Ugrasena ordered them to make it powder and throw in the water. Throw in the ocean, water of the ocean. So in this way, In this way, the fish was caught in the ocean along with other fish in a fisherman's net. The iron lump in the fish stomach was taken by the hunter Jara, who fixed it an arrowhead at the end of his shaft. So in this way, all this happened because Krishna desires. The iron club the Jara has taken, and you can see that later part, that how Krishna was being killed by the Jara hunter by that particular arrow. Of course, Krishna is not killed, but he was apparently pastime enacting as being killed. And also the powder of the gun, powder from the iron club, which was being thrown into the water of the ocean, they came to shore, become a cane. And that using that cane is all this good Yadu dynasty, they kill each other, being intoxicated. So that is entire plan is so meticulously, inconceivably planned by the Krishna to teach a lesson, also to wind up his pastime. So in the last verses, purport is so nice. Last verse purport is his end of this chapter. Today we cannot complete the second chapter, which is the Nine Yogendras meeting the Nimi Mahārāja. There are very important instruction. To next session, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, will continue. I think one chapter once we will do it, because it is very important with UDDHAVA Gītā. We cannot cover two chapters in one session. Knowing fully the significance of this event, Supreme Lord, though capable of reversing the brāhmaṇas' curse, did not wish to do so. Rather, in his form of time, he gladly sanctioned the event. So Krishna knew all the things. It is his plan, but he did not counteract it. He sanctioned it. Ordinary person may be surprised or bewildered that Lord gladly sanctioned the cursing and destruction of his own dynasty. The word "ovamodato" used here indicate taking pleasure in something or giving sanction or approval. It is also mentioned that Kala Rupi, Krishna gladly gave his sanction to the Brahmanas' course in the form of time. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada has commented that Supreme Lord Krishna Chandra decided to maintain the course intact in order to protect the actual principle of religion. Destroy the unbecoming offense of the deceitful member of Kṛṣṇa's dynasty. It is clearly explained in the Bhagavad-gītā that whole purpose of the Lord descent into material world is to establish authentic principle of religion, by which the conditioned soul who are suffering intensely under the law of material nature can regain their original existential status as the eternally liberated servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Living entity comes to this material world with a desire to lord it over material nature. Although living entity is in fact not the Lord but an eternal servant. Due to this perverted tendency to exploit the entire world for the sense gratification, living entity is prone to try to pervert the principle of spiritual life so that eternal religious principle become appropriate to his own material sense gratification. So this is a very important point, because we have turned away. This material world is a perverted reflection of spiritual world. So we have turned away from the Lord to enjoy our senses, to fulfill our sense gratification business. So therefore, we pervert the dharma, which is authentic dharma, Krishna consciousness established by the Lord, to suit our sense gratification process. Therefore, this is not an authentic one. This is a cheating religion. Dharma projita kaitava. Religion means to pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But we are perverting that religion. We are concocting to satisfy our senses, concocting and creating a religion which is satisfying our senses. So therefore, Lord Krishna himself personally comes from time to time to revive and enliven the correct method of devotional service to his lotus feet. That is the whole idea. The essence, quintessential message of this chapter, actually, if you see, is not the course of dynasty. Actually, Krishna enacted the pastime and to revive and enliven the correct method of devotional service. In this 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated that Lord Krishna has completed the vast majority of his pastime on the earth, was now making the final arrangement for his departure. Therefore, he wished to leave behind a vivid lesson for the living entity, that is, that this says that any so-called religious person, even he is so exalted as to take birth in Lord's personal family, cannot violate the respect and reverence which is due to the pure devotee of the Lord. So says Nārada Muni. The principle of serving the pure devotee of Krishna is so essential for spiritual advancement that Lord, the inconceivable pastime of causing the destruction of his entire dynasty, just to impress this point upon the conditioned soul of Kali Yuga. How important to respect and revere the pure devotee. So Lord is even destroying his own dynasty to teach a lesson that pure devotee is my higher and prior. They are higher and prior. Srimad Bhagavatam hints at the great misfortune that would come after disappearance of Supreme Kṛṣṇa to Godhead. Such misfortune also occurred after the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is accepted as Gaudiya Vaishnava as Krishna himself. Gaudiya Vaishnavas as Krishna himself. Though various instructions the Bhagavatam provides from eliminating cheating pseudo-religion that comes forth in human society after the departure of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya, exhibiting his magnanimous pastime, drove away South Indian all false doctrine of Upasampradaya, or so-called disciplic tradition of pseudo-devotee, who had gained the great influence by resorting to the atheistic theory of Buddhists and Jains. Thus, he turned all the India toward devotional service of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So, due to extensive preaching of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his followers, there remain no topics of discussion in the world other than devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Sridhana Dipada Prabodhananda Saraswati has elaborated on this in this verse. Stri Putradi Katham Jahur Vishayani. Narottam Narahari Sarakat Thakur in his book Krishna Bhajanamrita has corrected the improper statement of Gauranga Nagari Badis, Sakhi Beki Badis, other of the 11 pseudo disciplic chain that claim to follow the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So just like Krishna disappearance, there is a chaos in Kali Yuga. Therefore, Krishna left Srimad Bhagavatam to kick out the dharma projita kaitavatra param nirmasaranam satat. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when left, there is a social chaos, a religious chaos, because all his there are so many cheating sahajas sampradaya has come up, and they are claiming that they are from the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sampradaya, and they have violated his teaching, make it very cheap religion, sahaja. So therefore, to remove this unauthorized person cheating in disguise, advertise the duplicity as a katha, a pure worship of the Lord. Just as Krishna brought about the furious quarrel to destroy his own family, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranged for the world to be flooded with varieties of Mayavadis and Karmavadi philosophy just after his disappearance. He did this to destroy the person who belonged to 11 Upasampradaya, unauthorized disciplic succession, as well as many Upasampradaya that would appear in future, presumed to call themselves devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or pretend to be descendant in his family line. At the same time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arranged for his own men to be kept away from the pseudo-devotion of his teacher. Devotee of the Lord Gaurasundar Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can discern the mysteries of his pastime that manifest in the pastime of Lord Kṛṣṇa. Activity of transcendental body of Supreme Personality to God and cannot be understood in any ordinary man. This is the essential meaning of this chapter. Thus, end of the purport by humble Sri Divine Grace Bhakti Veda. So the essence of this chapter is that how Lord inconceivably planned to teach a lesson to all the conditioned soul about the difference between the false religions and authentic religion. He himself destroys his own dynasty in order to establish the real principle of religion. So this is the first chapter. This is a prelude to the Uddhava Gītā. Uddhava Gītā start with 11.7, but first 6th chapter is a prelude. So today, the course of tomorrow, we will going to tomorrow next session we are going to discuss about the very important lesson about the Nimi Maharaj meeting Nine Yogendras and the discussion about them. Very important verses and very important lessons. So Bhagavatam is full of narration, full of lesson, transcendental narration, transcendental lesson. So therefore, Bhagavatam is Vaishnavanam Priya, very, very important book of knowledge in order to enrich our spiritual life. enlighten us, enrich us, and live in our life. So thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Uddhava Gita ki jai, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.